Look at this. Look at this. I want to continue off of a conversation that we had yesterday, and some people have already reached out to me to let me know they had amazing insight from those videos. Sometimes I hesitate to say what I want to say the way that I want to say it because it can feel like I'm coming at you, I'm like I say things that like would even be difficult for like me to hear. Hey, pumpkin. She heard mommy talking. She had to come in. Hi, sweetness. Are you gonna be able to let mommy do this? All right, we'll see what happens. Dad, you was fine hanging out with daddy. What you doing? I don't want you to have that one. You can have this. Here, go take this to daddy. Go take that to daddy. Where's daddy? um. Anyway, I was talking about. Yeah, go find daddy. I was talking about how, and it's a hard conversation to hear sometimes, but it's like everything I'm saying because I love you. Everything I'm saying because I want you to see the same or whatever success looks like for you. I want you to see that in your life. And I realize that I'm a kind of person who's gonna have tough love conversations. And so if what I say hurts or stings or triggers you, know that I'm not coming at it from a place of, you need to do better and what, like making fun of you or anyway, like it's coming from a place of, I want to wake you up. I want you to open up your eyes and see what is actually happening and what is actually available to you, and that you have the power and control to be able to handle your life, control your life, and make decisions about where it is you want to go, what it is you want to have, what it is you want to do to achieve. And that is the intention behind my conversations. So anyway, I talked yesterday about how the number one reason that people are not able to grow a business or make large sums of money is because you cannot handle the big feelings related to those things. That you're going to experience a ton of big feelings about starting a business, about making a lot of money, about having amazing relationships. And most people cannot handle those big feelings. It makes them crumble into a ball, into a fetus position, crying on the floor. I can't handle this. This is too much. And they'd rather give up and walk away rather than deal with those feelings and be able to grow and evolve from those feelings. And it's not exactly your fault. We were not taught how to manage our feelings. We were not taught that feelings are energy and that emotions are energy and motion, that these are just feelings that are moving through your body and that they're temporary and that once you feel them and process them, they can move on. Most of us are crippled in our emotional intelligence because the people who raised us did not have any emotional intelligence. And so we don't have emotional intelligence ourselves. And so we struggle to handle big feelings. Even in society, we cannot handle big feelings. When a toddler has big feelings about not getting something at the store and they throw themselves on the floor, we're like, oh my God, take it away. We can't see that. That's too difficult. Whenever we see, and I see even with my own daughter, she expresses big feelings and people are like, make her stop. You fix it, And I'm like, she just has really big feelings right now. We can't handle big feelings from other people. We can't handle big feelings from ourselves. We do anything we can to stop big feelings from happening. And this is why we don't see success in our business. This is why we don't see ourselves in awesome marriages. This is why we don't, whatever it is that you want and it's not happening, it's most likely due to your inability to handle the big feelings around it. One of the examples I shared yesterday was you want to have millions of dollars, but when you get a random car bill for $300, you start freaking out and you're in a panic. You can't handle the big feelings of having millions of dollars in your bank account if you get freaked out about a $300 car bill that pops up. And that also has to do with mindset about money. Even receiving large amounts of money or making large amounts of money. Some of you may say, oh my God, I would love to make $50,000 a month. Right now, Melissa, as the insurance exam queen, we're making $100,000 a month. I'm pretty sure this month's going to be like 110, 120,000 this month. And some of you say, oh my God, if I could make 120,000, that would be amazing. My life would be perfect and everything would be solved. You don't realize the feelings that are going to come in from making 120,000 a month, because the first feeling you have is, oh my God, how do I do that again? And I can't do that again. And what if I blow all this money? And what if it doesn't work out? And what if it, blah, 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 blah. You'll go off and off and off. And there's so many big feelings that come in from something like that. So this video, I really want to focus on how do we manage those big feelings. And the first thing, and some people will say you cannot start a business until you've learned how to manage your feelings so that they're never triggered like that. They're always going to be triggered. Every new income level, they're going to be triggered. Every new circumstance, like there's going to be all kinds of things that cause you to have to grow and develop as a person. You can't fix all of it before you get started. You work on it as you're going. I was not perfectly capable of handling every big thing that came my way. I had to learn how to do it in the moment. So by no means am I telling any person, don't start a business until you are never going to be triggered again, because that's impossible. What I'm saying is know that you're going to be triggered as heck throughout your whole life, and that it's your ability to manage how and what you do when that trigger occurs, and how you take care of yourself, and what support system you have in place to be able to learn and grow from that trigger and evolve from that point going forward. So the first thing you need to do is take deep breaths. It sounds so simple, but breathing, because you have to calm your body. When you get triggered into a big feeling, and your mind starts racing, you have to breathe. You have to bring yourself back to the present moment instead of allowing your mind to go through all the anxieties and all the worries. Breath is your way to calm you down and to get you there. And then you've got to have this mindset that says, no matter what, I will be okay. Somehow, some way, this will be resolved. It will be all right. Because most of us have the mindset of, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever. This is horrible. How am I going to get out of this? This is going to knock me out. Like, oh my God, this is the worst. And you get stuck in those feelings, and that's your inability to process, and that's where you want to shut down, and that's where you want to give up, and that's where you want to hide away. That is the moment in which you've got to decide, I'm going to be okay. This is temporary. This is a problem that has to be solved. This is something that has to be taken care of. I am capable of figuring it out. I know that the tools will come in. I know that the help will come in. I know that I will be okay. And so what is the first right step that I need to take in this direction? And then you just do one single step at a time without compounding worry and fear on top of every single step that you're taking. You don't need to know the exact route you're going to take through the problem. You just need to take one step at a time. Because I shared the other day about taking action. As soon as you take one step, it changes the potential outcome of all the next steps that you take. But you can't unlock that potential until you take the first step. So you don't need to plan too far in advance. You simply just need to take the next right step. And that's, I literally, Elsa in the Frozen 2, she thinks everyone's dead, and she's like, I've got to keep moving on, and she's utterly depressed in this super dark cave, and she sings this song like, take the next right step. That is what you do. So whatever the big feelings are, there's going to be so many big feelings related to building a business, to making multiple six figures, to making seven figures, to having the success that you want in your life, to getting married, to having incredible relationships where you feel love and joy in your life, where you're happy to be together, where you're not fighting and arguing every single day like I used to in my other marriages. In order to have that happen, you have to handle the big feelings around those things. And there is no exact right way. There's like 1,000 different ways of managing big feelings. I'm simply sharing for you what I have found has worked for me, but there are many ways to handle big feelings. Some people like to throw a tantrum, just like a toddler. Like I talked about earlier, we can't handle when toddlers have big feelings. Oh my God, make it stop. Take your toddler home. Don't even bring them out in public if that's the way your kid is going to behave. Without realizing that a toddler actually has the best way of processing through their emotions. They get it out. They're like, oh my God, my body is like screaming right now because I'm not getting what I want, and it feels conflicting, and I'm just gonna rah until it comes out. And this is what people say, well, the toddler's making it up because they're so fun. As soon as they're done with their tantrum, they get up and walk away. Yeah, they moved the energy through their body. They got rid of it. They were feeling this intense anxiety about all kinds of stuff, and they expressed it, they released it, they let it go, and then they get up and they go about their day. Like, that is one way to handle big feelings. And I have thrown myself into tantrums. I have like I'm just going to sit and I'm going to pound and I'm going to pound a pillow. I'm allowing that big emotion to move through my body, and I take a deep breath, and then I go, okay, what is the next right step that I need to handle in this situation? Without thinking, I need to know the next 20 steps as well. And without allowing fear or worry to try and sneak in thoughts that tell me I can't handle this problem. Nothing that is presented to you is something that you can't handle. Otherwise, it wouldn't be presented to you. It is a calling to you saying, you can handle this. You can manage this. You've got this. But so many of us are so afraid of those big feelings that we just would rather run away in fear and say, I can't do it. I can't handle it. And this is why you cannot build your big business. This is why you cannot bring in large sums of income. Because if you cannot handle big feelings and then you get a big chunk of money into your bank account, there is so many feelings associated to that. You think all you're going to feel is joy and awesomeness and being able to spend the money and all of that. But there are so many other feelings on the other side of that will come in. And if you are not prepared to handle those things, then the universe cannot give you that amount of money, because then it's just going to crumble you. You're going to fall and it's going to be unsuccessful. And then you're just going to be in a worse position than where you were before. You know, you've got, like, this is why, like, people who win the lottery, they lose it all. They blow it all because they cannot handle the feelings, and they just end up spending all the money to make themselves feel better. And then it's gone, it's dissipated, and it hasn't served them. It hasn't changed their life in a way where they're able to keep the money and hold the money. And that's another thing too. Holding money is a whole big ball game that a lot of us struggle with, because so many of us were raised in poverty and where you don't have the opportunity to be able to hold money. So you've got to be able to hold big feelings. There's big feelings related to everything that you do in life. And so much of starting my multi-million-dollar business has been learning how to manage my feelings, how to take care of these big feelings, and what is it that I need to do to move through this moment, to move through these feelings without allowing it to crush me, or without allowing it to make me think that I should never do this again, and without making me run away and hiding. Okay. I've decided that I want to be big. I've decided that I want to speak to millions of people in the world. I've decided that I want to, share my knowledge and share my wisdom and help other people to be able to do what I've done, which is make a multi-million business, which is make an incredible life for myself, which is buying a beautiful 100-acre property with a pond out back so that we can live the lifestyle that we want to live and go out and hunting in the woods and all of these things. I was not in a position to do this 2.5 years ago when I started my business, but I'm in the position to do that today. And if I can help anybody swing in that direction of, I'm not capable of being able to do these things, but I want to do these things too. Now I'm able to do these things and make these happen. If I can get you on that track faster than I did, like, that would be even more cool and more amazing. And that is why I want to share my stuff with people. I want everybody to wake up to a life that they love, to wake up to a life that they enjoy, to be able to, fly their family out and have vacations. My sister just spent 2 weeks at my house, and she doesn't have to worry about a thing. It's all taken care of. My grandma, we have to do a bunch of stuff with my grandma right now. There's not one financial worry my grandma has to have at this point anymore. I have taken over everything for her to where she could just be okay and live her life. And she's someone who had to struggle her whole life financially. And it's all removed and gone from her. She's not anything she has to worry about at this point. I have just been able to take it over. I could not have done that 2.5 years ago when I started my business, but I can do it today. And anything it is that you want in your life to be able to do financially, I want to help you get there. I want to show you what I have done so that you yourself can do those same things. It'll look a little bit different. It'll be a slightly different flavor for you. And that's perfect, because it should be according to you. But the same principles stand true. You've got to be able to handle big feelings. You've got to be able to manage those feelings, and you've got to be able to pick yourself up and say, I'm going to handle this, instead of, this is taking me out. I'm done. It's over. That's where so many people are at. Like, the big feeling, like, you've got to experience big feelings. Like, one of the things when you're starting a business, let's say you're starting a business online and you make an offer on your Facebook, like, hey, I have a class for sale. I'm going to teach you, whatever, finding your soulmate, whatever it is. This is how much the ticket is. Can't wait to see you there. And you post it and nobody buys a ticket. The feelings that come in is, I shouldn't have done that. Nobody wants my stuff. I'm charging too much money. All of these feelings come in. I feel rejected. I feel like a failure because nobody bought my class. If you can't handle that, how do you think you're going to handle even bigger situations where you're talking about bigger amounts of money and bigger things? Like, so many people want to cry and crumble and disappear when they can't handle the fact that nobody got their first offer. Yes, honey? I saw you sitting there, so.
Doesn't matter.
What?
I need you out there.
Okay. I love you all. Gotta go. Have an amazing day. Bye.